Hi, welcome back. Thanks for stopping by. In earlier clips, you heard me talk about the MVP workshop that I developed many years ago, the mission, vision, and principles, components to true success in life. Our mission is clear, our vision is clear, our principles are clear. We have some sense of constancy, of purpose. We have some clear direction in our lives. It helps us avoid the drift syndrome, if you will, where we just seem to drift from one thing to another. And it's particularly important when we set goals, because if we're not clear on the vision, we're not clear on the reasoning and the mission and the principles guiding us, we could very easily be setting goals that hurt us, take us in the wrong direction, confuse us. All right, and then what? Then we start thinking goal setting is not a good idea. Let me tell you, goal setting is a great idea as long as we're very clear on where it is we want to go. So in an earlier clip, I also talked about my own personal mission, if you will, which is to bring salvation to the world, help millions and millions of people around the world wake up and see with new eyes, new sight, see beyond that dualistic ego thought system to a true vision, if you will, of unity, of oneness, of atonement, and enlightenment. So today I'm going to talk a little bit now about vision. So again, I'll use myself as an example. The mission is to bring salvation to the world, help people wake up, and to see things in such better light, if you will. Instead of seeing all the negative, they see things in a truly positive way, a very inspiring way. Then what's the vision potentially going to look like? And I'll say this about vision. When you do a visioning exercise, it's very important to be very specific. So this is why in the workshop we have people like write their own eulogy, not to be morbid, but to be very specific about how do you want to be remembered. Define your character. What is it that people remember about you? All right, and if it's not the eulogy that you're working on, again, just for specificity, what is it you see for yourself 5 years from now or 10 years from now? So pick a time in the future. Where do you see yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, socially, financially, professionally? Draw a picture very clear and be specific, all right, with the details. So do you see things like in my case, do you see people from around the world, from China and India and Brazil and Argentina and France and Germany and England and Canada and Mexico, sending you emails thanking you for the guidance that you've provided and the awakening that they've experienced through your teachings? Is that something you see? All right, because it's critical that you're very specific. What else do you see? Do you see yourself traveling the world and feeling great about what it is you're doing and having people appreciate the knowledge and the wisdom that's being shared? How do you see yourself physically? Where do you see yourself living? All right. What kind of relationship do you see yourself having with your family, with your friends, with your colleagues, your coworkers, your clients, your customers? Think about all of these different categories and draw a picture for yourself about what it is you want. And by the way, focus more on what you want than on what you don't want. All right? It's important to know what you don't want as well as what you want, but the idea is to focus on the solution and not what we think of as the problems, the lack of this or the lack of that. So beware, because the more you focus on the lack, or I don't have this or I don't have that, with law of attraction, you'll draw more lack into your life. You don't want to go there. Focus on that positive, empowering energy, if you will, and let it flow. But you've got to aim it. You've got to steer it, and you steer it with vision. So that's my tip for today. Be very clear on your vision. Try a couple of different exercises to be very clear on where you see yourself at some point in the future. And then you can begin, and I'll talk about this in other videos, you can begin to start looking at the goals that you're setting or the goals that you need to set to move you in that direction. Without direction, you're going to drift. Make sure you're very clear on your direction, very clear on the vision that you have for yourself, your organization, and the people that matter most to you. That's my tip for today. I'll see you again.